Hello, my name is Polyanovska and I am your host. And today I'm here with Zuzia, who studies PPE at King's College London. Zuzia, would you mind telling us what do you study and where?
Yes, so I study PPE, which stands for Politics, Philosophy, and Economics at King's College London, and I'm very happy to be here with you today, talking a little bit about my experience here in London and studying at King's.
Thank you so much. And would you mind telling us how did the application process look like for you?
Yes, so I was applying 4 years ago, 4 years ago, and because I was applying from the UK, I only can tell you about the process, how it looked, how the process looked like applying from the UK. So I applied for UCAS, which is online platform for university applications, and since I was here in sixth form, so the equivalent of high school, I didn't have to transfer or translate any documents. I just straightforwardly apply through that platform. I had to though write personal statement, which I think is always the biggest worry for prospective students writing the personal statement. But yeah, I can tell you a few tips regarding that if you if you're interested. And yes, that was my process, just applying for the website.
Great. Would you mind sharing your tips?
Yes. So what I was thinking when I was like thinking about personal statements, and because I also wanted my personal statement to be absolutely amazing. And I collected all the tips that I had got over the years. The first thing I would say is that to now, since you have some time before applying, to engage in what you're passionate about, because I feel like if you're passionate about something, the passion is always going to come through what you are writing. So definitely follow your passion, follow what you're doing. So a lot of extracurricular, creating different projects, reading books on the topics that are interesting for you. That's for starters. Secondly, I think you should start writing early. I started like at the beginning of the holidays, before application, and I wrote like 40 drafts, and it was an amazing process. I was sending my drafts to everyone and anyone, collecting different ideas and different opinions, and then I myself edited it. So that I felt that it's the most like myself. That's the second tip. And the last one, I think it's like with everything, right? Like with motivational statements, is to try to tell a story about yourself. So there's nothing more exciting than reading the personal statement that actually takes you through the life, through a certain story. And for example, my story when I was applying was being in different echo chambers, and I started with chambers of like and being enclosed in different chambers in regards to like media, social media, and then I followed up with the chambers that I sat in, which included, for example, the chambers of the parliament here in the UK. So you see how like I use this specific narrative to tell a story about myself, and I can say that I feel like it was very successful. Yeah, I think those are my little tips. I hope that they are gonna be useful. But yeah, that's
That was
it.
that was very helpful. Thank you so much. And what do you like about your course?
Okay, so there are many things that are really enjoyable about my course because it's PPE. So it's an interdisciplinary course. So I have three components to my course. And so at the beginning of my education, I will tell you how much I love how interdisciplinary it is, so that it brings philosophy, economics, and politics together, and I get to look at different problems from a very from different perspectives, and then to bring it all together. And today, I wouldn't say that interdisciplinarity is like the good part of the best part about the project, about the course. I would say that actually the best part is that it taught me how to think critically, and I guess that's my favorite part of the entire of the course that I started thinking critically. And now I can say that I'm writing my dissertation on the topic that is absolutely exciting, that I love reading about, and this is something that now I'm very very excited about. And so yeah, those are the things that I really enjoy about my course, apart from a very distinguished academics. And for example, I had a lecture with a former cabinet member, and so that was, for example, very exciting. And that is going to a person who is going to write my master's references. So as you can see, this is something that, yeah, that I also think it's amazing.
Great. And what is something that you don't like?
Yes, I mean, it's something I don't like. I would rather have more contact hours. I would rather have the possibility to spend more time at university, in a sense that I would rather have longer lectures, more tutorials, more classes. Of course, it's not feasible because if we had more lectures, more classes, more modules, I think now I barely have time for anything. So having like more classes would just be impossible. But yeah, that's like a wish that I wish I had opportunity to take like 6, 7, or 8 modules, because a lot of them are very very exciting and very very interesting. So I would yeah, I would have changed that.
And social life is a very important and a very exciting thing about university. So, how does social life look like at King's or for you in general?
Yeah, so I guess everyone, my response would be everyone is going to find something for themselves, because if I'm not mistaken, King's has the biggest number of societies. So what I can say is that, okay, you think of social life, and the first thing that comes to your mind is partying, right? Uh, but that's not necessarily the case. Social life is also spending time with people that share similar interests. So, for example, you are studying, or for example, I would be studying PPE, but I love hiking and climbing. So I would join a mountaineering society, and I would be climbing rocks during the weekends and connect with people on slightly different platform. So that's, for example, very exciting in regards to social life. On the other side, there is, of course, we are in London, you know, everything is here in London, but there's a lot of events organized by different societies. For example, I am a president of the Diplomacy Society, and apart from organizing strictly academic events, during which you can connect with like-minded individuals, with people who are considering career in diplomacy or are just very interested in that particular sector, we also organize social events, so more like parties, or little like going to pub crawls, so like going to different pubs across London, to connect with one another in a slightly less formal way. So yeah, I guess it is what you make of it. Everyone will find something for themselves, because there is a lot of spaces for example, yoga, for dancing, for diplomacy, Harry Potter societies, tea drinker, DJ societies. So I guess in this respect, you will always find people with whom you connect and with whom you can share those beautiful moments here in London at university. Yeah.
And just to finish off, could you walk us through a regular day in your life as a PPE student at King's?
Okay, so first thing, I would say that there's never a regular day in my life, because as what I told you, we don't have that many classes, so it does depend on how you structure your day, and also there are a lot of events, so every day is it's quite different. I can say that. So how I structure my day, I took an example of, I think, today. So I would wake up around 6:30, 7 a.m. and I would go straight to the gym, because now I'm training for the marathon, so it's very exciting. So I would go straight to the gym. Then I would get out of the gym. I would cycle to uni. This year I'm living super close to uni, so it's like a 15-minute cycle. 15, 1 5. Then I would have my first seminar maybe at 10. So a seminar is like a little group discussion with 10, 15 other students with the lecturer or with a student with the teacher assistant. So this is something where this is the class where you confront your peers about with the readings that you did or with the questions that you answered. You're confronting your opinions with them. So I would go to that first seminar. After that, I have seminar with my really good friends, so we would usually get coffee afterwards, and then I would have another lecture to which I would go, and that would leave me at like 12. For lunch, which I would eat with my friends, and afterwards, depending on what's happening, how much studying I have to do, I would go either to the library, either I would go back home. I'm also tutoring, so I might do that. Or, as I told you, there are a lot of events happening, so I might be going to an event that would be happening. But usually nowadays, I would head to the library because we have a lot of studying at the moment. It's the last year, so there's always something to do. And yeah, I think that would be my day, and then I would come back for dinner to my flat and eat dinner with my flatmates. Or had I had so much to study, I would stay at the library until too late and study or intend to study. Yeah, so that would be my day.
Great. Thank you so much, Zuzia, for joining me today. Yeah, thank you so much, and stay tuned.
Thank you so much for the invitation, and I'm very happy to be sharing those little insights with you. And maybe if I can say that if anyone would need, maybe would have any questions or would like me to look over some applications, or if I could provide any more advice, like I'm more than happy to do so. I don't know how it works, but if there would be someone who I could assist, I'm more than happy to do that.
Yes, I will put your contact information in the description of the podcast. Thank you so much for offering.